No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? I'm getting the hang of this thing. We're going to start with a song. You ready? The words are in your program. It's called Spirit is in This Place, and Jeff is going to give us some nice, loud background music. And if you're feeling energetic, or maybe because you're not, you should probably stand up. Come on, it's a short song.
Together as a family, we have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love.
Have a seat. All right. So welcome. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for giving yourself the gift of a moment of sanctuary and love and support and fellowship right here in this community, because that's what we're here for. I want to acknowledge our friends that watch us online. Everybody wave. They can see you. We welcome anyone who is seeking a more spiritual approach to life. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, there is room here to come, to be accepted, to be, we're curious about people. We want to know about you. We want to find out who our new friends are. So if you've got a friend that maybe is looking for a little something, or every so often asks you what it is you do at that weird church you go to, invite them, show them, this is really a place where we can come to remember a greater truth about life, which is together we walk in a powerful place of peace and love. And that it's easier to remember when we can remind each other. And it's easier to feel supported when the world seems a little bit dark or gloomy or difficult, or you just need a break. That's what we're here for. Because I don't know about you, but I feel better when I leave here every Sunday morning. You feel better than when you came? Yeah. Okay, that's all you need to know then, right? Right. Do this, yes, okay. All right, so on platform this morning, our practitioner of the day is Reverend Dracduella. The man of many talents. Sometimes I introduce him as our musician, sometimes he's the speaker, and today he is the practitioner. Because your Centers for Spiritual Living ministers are all practitioners, and Our gift to you always is prayer and prayer treatment, the ability to affirm and align with that power that is greater than we are. Your practitioners and your ministers are here to do just that with you and for you. So if you're carrying something, if you're celebrating something, if you're struggling with something, tap one of us on the shoulder after service. We'll be happy to sit with you and do a little prayer work and remind you of a greater truth, give you a place within yourself where you can go for peace and support. We also have some great music today. As you probably recognize the guy on the piano, that's Jeff Harrison, yes. And we have the lovely Jannel Rapp with us this morning. We've missed you. Your mom's doing well? She's better. Okay, good deal. Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's start by centering, shall we? Let's take a moment in the quiet. If you've got your phone on, turn it off. If you've got stuff in your lap, put it down. Take a deep breath. And it's the sound of the bowl that reminds us to go within to that place of the heart. For it is that place within us that knows the peace, that knows the love, that knows the truth of life, that there is only one.
So we breathe in deeply. Feel the weight of our being on our chairs and know that we are here together in the right and perfect place. It's said in the Bible that we are the hands and feet of Christ. So what does that mean? It means that Spirit moves and breathes through each and every one of us, and that there is no act, no action, no thought, no conveyed feeling that is wasted. That Spirit moves and breathes through each and every one of these moments, and that we have the capacity, the power, and the privilege to express Spirit through acts of kindness, generosity, tenderness toward one another. And this, in and of itself, in all of its simplicity, is quite powerful, quite the miracle. So we know that God is in and through and present each and every one of our actions, especially those conscious ones, and that we are a part of what God does in this world, that Spirit says and moves through each and every one of us. And so the truth is that no action, no thought, no conveyed kindness is wasted. It is all precious and powerful in this world. And so it's a beautiful thing to know. And aren't we grateful for that, knowing that this is real, that nothing ever is wasted when there's kindness. So we release this understanding into the world, knowing that it is real and that it is so, and that it is holy and that it is sacred. And so it is. So, because today's focus is on acts of kindness, I actually went online and I found several stories on acts of kindness. There's 3 of them. And there were many on there. There were some that were quite remarkable, but I decided I would choose the ones that were remarkable in their simplicity, because those are the things most of us like to do, I would say. And we often overlook how powerful they really are, thinking, oh, that's not much. But it's much. So much that these people actually posted these stories. So the first one. When the supermarket clerk tallied up my groceries, I was $12 over what I had on me. I began to remove items from the bags when another shopper handed me a $20 bill. Please don't put yourself out, I told him. Let me tell you a story, he said. My mother is in the hospital with cancer. I visit her every day and bring her flowers. I went this morning and she got mad at me for spending my money on more flowers. She demanded that I do something else with that money. So here, please accept this. It is my mother's flowers. This was written by Leslie Wagner in Peel, Arkansas. I forgot about the rules on liquids and carry-on luggage, so when I hit security at the airport, I had to give up all my painting supplies. Oh, that would really suck. When I returned a week later, an attendant was at the baggage area with my paints. Not only had he kept them for me, but he'd looked up my return date and time in order to meet me. This was written by Marilyn Kinsella from Canmore, Canada. One last one. I was balancing caring for a toddler and working a full-time job, all while my Navy husband was on extended duty overseas. That would be a lot. One evening, the doorbell rang. It was my neighbor, a retired chief petty officer, holding a breadboard loaded with a freshly cooked chicken and vegetable stew. "I've noticed you're getting a little skinny," he said. It was the best meal I'd had in months. Written by Patricia Fordney from Corvallis, Oregon. We'll read one tiny little thing here from the book Do Nothing, written by Celeste Headley. Science has proven that humans are mostly kind. Let me read that again. Science has proven that humans are mostly kind. Kindness is intuitive for the vast majority of us. Research proves that doing nice things for other people, even small things, is incredibly good for you. As the psychotherapist and Jesuit priest Anthony de Mello wrote, charity is really self-interest masquerading under the form of altruism. Are we not all one? Jannel, please come on up.
Good morning, everyone. There we are. Jeff didn't want you to hear him breathing. Oh, ouch. Okay. So, wow. I am humbled that I was able to turn the mic on for myself, that you allowed me to do that. I'm humbled that anybody would ever want to hear what I have to say or play. I'm taking up your time. You know what I mean? You know, I think about that. You know, I think about when, you know, artists or musicians want someone to come hear them play. They beg their friends to come. You aren't begging me to come to your work and watch you work, right? And so, you know, it's humbling. So, anyway, I had this song that would not let go of me on Friday. It started writing itself, and it was screaming at me all day Friday and all day yesterday. And it's still in the oven. Like, it's doughy. And I don't know if I should do it. I feel like I'm jumping off the high board that I've never jumped off. Because I've trained myself not to judge. I've trained myself that that's not good because I was given that teaching. And it's a little judgy. So I'm toying between that and another song, and so I don't know. Can you jump? Okay. So just keep in mind it's a little doughy. So if you don't like doughy bread or doughy cookies, then, you know, just... You'll chew on it. And I messed around with a bunch of different melodies, so I don't even know what's going to come out. But it's just like, in me. So sorry. I have practiced all my life to try to get love right. I'm not perfect, but I just keep on trying. But now to turn the other cheek, they say it isn't strong, they say it's weak, resigned to calling names. No more mirrors, just blame. Well, did Jesus really change his tune from when love built a room for every single soul ever been born? Well, I guess I can learn to hate somehow if that's how Jesus is talking now. So I will follow Jesus to the grave. Is that the chosen way he came to save? Well, I hope it's not too late to learn to hate my neighbor, hate my mother, hate my sisters and my brothers, hate my country, hate the world, hate myself 'cause I'm a girl. Let hate beget the overflow to all the colors of the rainbow, to everyone and everything. There's so much here, so much good that hate can bring. Open the gate. I hope it's not too late to learn to hate. I hope it's not too late to learn to rob the poor, to feed the rich. They're so hungry they can't scratch that itch. Disagree off with your head. I guess I missed all the edits between X, TikTok, and all the Reddits. Translations got under my skin. Apparently that's how hate seeped in. And vengeance has taken over while peering over God's shoulder, assuming his position in the fray. Now good old-fashioned sin paves the way. I hope it's not too late to learn to hate my neighbor, hate my mother, hate my sisters and my brothers, hate my country, hate the world, hate myself 'cause I'm a girl. Hate begets the overflow to all the colors of the rainbow, everyone and everything. There's so much good that hate can bring. Open the gate, 'cause I hope it's not too late to learn to hate. I hope it's not too late to learn to lock and load from mouth to hand, claiming part in God's own plan, violating laws, rights, and ethics. Isn't the rhetoric ironic? Trash it all with a wrecking ball, no concern where chips may fall. We the people just don't matter anymore. It's about the win, just keeping score. But somewhere deep within our hearts, beyond the bruises, cuts, and scars, we're praying there's an answer that's enough. Let's pray it's not too late to learn to love. Pray it's not too late to learn to love my neighbor, love my mother, love my sisters and my brothers, love my country, love the world, love myself 'cause I am a girl. Let love beget the overflow to all the colors of the rainbow, to everyone and everything. There's so much love, so much good that love can bring to every place and everywhere. Leave nothing to spare. Open the gates, 'cause I hope it's not too late to learn to love. I hope it's not too late, 'cause there is no room for hate in this house. There is no room, no room, no room.
You know, it takes a lot to speak truth. And the emotional ride of that song is really the song that I think all of us have been affected by and continue to be affected by. And to hear it out loud, it's like, would I have picked that? Would that have been the safe choice? Is that what I want to do from the pulpit? Right? We have all these expectations built into how we're supposed to show up in the world. And when you can speak truth, when artists draw and sing and write what's true in the heart, what's happening for each of us, what's pulling us and pushing us and we're struggling with, we actually open wider to what's possible. We are actually breaking open. That broken heart is breaking open so that there is room to know that the last verse is the one that counts. You know, that the realization that comes from naming what's happening allows us to be clear about who we want to be, where we want to be, how we want to show up. There's something about the power of art to show us life in a way that is very holistic. You know, I speak love and sunshine up here and practical ways to navigate through and keep yourself steady and centered, and that serves a purpose. But what you do, Jannel, also serves a purpose. It gives us room. It gives us a place to put the rest of us. So thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for jumping. You can always jump here. Yes, you can always jump here. We're very grateful. Thank you. Whew. All right, so let me regroup a bit. What's that? Apparently the piece of paper that has my candle speech on it is not in the stack I brought today, but I just happen to have it here on my phone. Just make one up. Okay, let's see. There it is. Let's see. No, that's not the one. Oh, come on, man. Here we go. I'll take the music one just because music is up today. So we're lighting the candle today for Sister Rosetta Tharpe. And the way her entry in Wikipedia reads, hey, excuse me a moment while I argue with the candle. There we go. Light. Before Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Keith Richards, Elvis, or Johnny Cash strummed their guitars or banged out a melody on the piano, Sister Rosetta Tharpe created a musical style that would take the world by storm. Hailed as the godmother of rock and roll, Tharpe is both the originator of pop gospel and she brought an emotionally charged dimension to the electric guitar, creating the foundation of rock and roll. She's credited with introducing the spirituality of the gospel into the secular world. Little Richard called her his greatest influence. And Chuck Berry said that his entire career was just, quote, one long Rosetta Tharpe impersonation, end quote. In 1969, she was nominated for a Grammy for Best Gospel Performance for the album Precious Memories. So we owe that electric guitar and rock and roll to a black woman from the 50s. Isn't that a lovely thing? Okay. So tomorrow is Random Acts of Kindness Day. Obviously, kindness is better when done more than one day a year. But this is the day where we refocus our energy. We give ourselves a conscious reminder about kindness and the power of being kind in the world. And the title is called Making Waves because when I was looking up quotes on kindness, almost all of them talk about kindness rippling out from us, rippling out into the world. And you know, every big wave starts as a ripple. So we're here to make waves in the world. Reverend Jane Beach, one of the ministers in Science of Mind and great writer and artist, says, humanly, there's a feeling of separation in the world today. Spiritually, we're all connected by a love that's wise, compassionate, and peaceful. It's who we are. Humans, however, are messy. Love is not. My job is to be kind in hard situations, to forgive myself and others, and to walk gently on the earth, remembering who I am. We come here into groups like this to better remember who we are. Because it is hard to be kind and compassionate in a hard world. And yet we know it's the thing to do. We know in our hearts that, as Drac read, humans are basically kind. We want to help each other. We do help each other. And the thing is, we're talking this month about radical interconnection, that at our roots we are all connected, interconnected with anything and everything. And knowing that changes everything. Connection changes everything. And kindness is the way we activate those neural pathways that remind us of just how connected, just how alike, just how interwoven we all are with all of life. The thing about ripples is that it's really a form of stirring things up a bit, right? If you have a perfectly clear day, no motion on the water, that water is like glass. It's beautiful. And then something moves or drops into the water and the ripples start. And the glass is disturbed, and yet the patterns are amazing in and of themselves. And the thing is, those ripples will literally go on as long as there is something to move on, to act on. And so our ability to ripple kindness out into the world has far-reaching effects, far beyond what most of us know or understand. I'm going to insert a story today because my sister-in-law, I've talked about my in-laws in upstate New York quite a bit. She and her husband are both in education. I think I've told you the boys, the youngest is senior in high school, the oldest is his first year of college. But all through their school years, the Brialt house was the house where everybody came, right? Did you have one of those when you were growing up? Somebody's mom always had food in the fridge and a TV downstairs or a Game Boy or a pool table or something, and everybody comes to their house. So in the school where she teaches, it's a K through 12 school in a small community. She's the high school English teacher, which means she's taught not only every kid in Chateauguay English, she also taught all the parents who are now teachers at the school English when they were in high school. So she knows everybody. So one of the traditions they have in this school is that the senior athletes give their jersey to someone in the school on staff that has meant the most to them, a teacher, a coach, the lunch lady, whoever it is. And so she was gifted 2 jerseys this year. And those 2 jerseys came from 2 of those boys that used to hang out, or still do, at her house. We were back there for Christmas. And, 3 or 4 very tall young gazelles would go waltzing, "Hi, Mrs. B," hit the fridge and then go downstairs and join the boys and do whatever they do down there. Don't want to know. So they wrote their little essay about why they were gifting their jerseys to her. And one of the boys, in particular, talked about how she was always there for him, how her kindness meant everything, how she'd call him out when he was in the wrong, and how he appreciated that, and how she was there for him like a mom after he lost his own. So Pat and I are crying, so we have to call Till in the middle of Sunday morning and go, this is the most beautiful thing. And the other kid was like the same way. She's just being her. She just loves those boys. She just says, sure, bring your friends over. Yes, they can sleep over. They can sleep on the porch any night they want to. They can sleep in the spare room. That's just how she moves in the world. She's not trying to save the world or change the course of history. But she certainly changed their lives. She certainly changed the way they saw themselves, the way they now move in the world, the kinds of things, the kinds of men they will be in the world, from having been in her circle of influence, from having been the recipients of those ripples of love that she is. And the truth is, we all do that. We don't always give ourselves credit. We don't always think we do enough. We're not always sure that people understand what we're trying to put out there. But the impact still happens. And the little moments, the small things, they aren't little. They aren't little. So I have a story. An artist describes how all of art is like a beautiful, huge lake of water. And flowing into that lake, there are large and powerful rivers. Beethoven, the Beatles, Dylan, Barbara Kingsolver, Georgia O'Keeffe, Da Vinci, Dickens, Shakespeare, Mary Oliver, Monet, and more. But there are also 100 million streams and creeks and small tributaries that led to that great and beautiful lake. The artist's belief was that whether she was a river or creek or small artesian well bubbling up from the earth was never the point. The point was that the lake got filled. She says, I've lived my entire artistic life grounded in that idea that it is honorable and true to simply fill the lake with as much beauty as I can in my one wild and precious life. She goes on to write, have you ever seen a bucket so absolutely full to the brim that a very small bit of water causes the bucket to overflow? Some folks might say it was that last drop that overflowed the contents, but the truth is, it took every single drop to bring the water to the rim. It took every single drop for it to reach the point when all that good spilled over. Every drop mattered. Each drop was filled with a spirit of love and hope that lifted the water level. You, my friend, and the daily drop you put into the bucket are deeply important because you are the water that shifts the world. You are the river, creek, or stream that fills the lake. And so when we talk about acting with kindness, when we talk about the Random Acts of Kindness Day, what we're really doing is filling that lake, filling that bucket, bringing to the world the gift that we have that adds to the good. Remember, there's no end to where the ripples will go. There's only an end if we decide to shut down, to pull back, to hide our light. Not to say we don't take breaks. We've talked about this. We know we have to refresh and renew ourselves so that we can once again be present in the world. But never doubt that those things that you do make a difference. So I want to ask you, what has someone done for you as a kindness that has meant something to you? Maybe in the past, maybe recently, big or small, there's no real difference. What are the kinds of things that happen in your life that you receive as a kindness, that delight you or uplift you or give you room to breathe? This is the part where you shout something out. Yes, Mickey.
Several years ago, I was having a tough time financially,
Mm-hmm.
and two friends of mine paid for a year for my pest control. I was going to give it up, and they said, no, you can't give up your pest control. You got it, because where I live,
You need it where you live, yes.
I need to have it, and for a year, they paid my
Mm-hmm. To pay that bill.
pest control for a whole year.
So two friends stepping up to cover a bill.
Gratitude.
Yes. Yes, unexpected, unasked for,
No,
and maybe a small thing for them to offer to pay for that, and yet a huge impact and very much remembered. Yeah. Who else? What kind of kindness? Yes, Sally.
Neighbors that helped me with my son when he had his leg amputated. It was hard. I couldn't get him up and down the steps on my own. And they'd come any time of the day and help me get the wheelchair loaded in the car and get David up and down the steps.
So help with family from neighbors, just anytime as needed. Yeah, Mary.
I got my car broke down yesterday
Car broke down yesterday.
on the freeway.
Oh, we love it when it happens on the freeway. Yes.
I was barely able to get off the freeway way out on the 15, and I got off, and then I was trying to get off of Foothill Boulevard, and they had one of those little medians.
Oh, yeah.
But when it broke down, I had no power steering.
Oh, no power steering. That makes it fun, too.
In an expedition.
In an expedition.
In the car. And I got stuck, and all of these cars just kept whipping by me and whipping by me. They were on their way to Victoria Gardens, whipping by me. Finally, these two young kids who were like 20, they stopped, came over, said, "Are you stuck?" And I said, "Yes." And the young man got into the driver's seat and muscled that steering so that we could get off the road and into the gas station so I could call AAA.
There you go.
I didn't know these kids at all. They went and got me water. They stayed with me till they knew I had called AAA and made sure that I would get a ride to, made sure I was safe. And then they left. And I didn't know them at all.
Yeah. So the kindness of strangers, seeing someone that needs help and stopping to offer and making it work. And recognizing that could be any one of us. You've all heard stories of paying it forward, right? When I was a poor, starving, made no money restaurant worker, I got to eat there one meal a day, but it's not like I had any extra money. And to have somebody, as like in your reading, cover the leftover of my grocery bill of the 6 things I was trying to take home, and being told, look, somebody helped me when I was your age. When you can, you turn around and help someone else, right? That's the ripple effect. That's us reminding each other that people are basically kind. I read a phrase this week that said, headlines are the exception. That's why they're headlines. So the headlines that we see right now, while very ominous, and I do not minimize the problems that are happening and being caused and that are going to need work and repair, but they are the exception in terms of how we usually treat each other, what is important to us, what our values are in life. We have the ability to make waves, to get, as John Lewis says, in good trouble, to understand that not forceful, the more, it's a word that starts with an R, the more resilient, the more, not even resistant, no, resolute. The clearer we are about what we hold dear, the clearer we are about what we love and how we treat each other and how we want to be treated, then the easier it is for us to spread that around, affecting not only the people in our circle of influence, but all of the people in each of our friends' circle of influence and beyond. You've all seen the commercial, I know, because I've talked about it. I think I talk about it every year on this day. The baby drops the stuffed animal out of the stroller, and the man picks it up and hands it to the mom, and then the mom turns around and opens the door for someone else to go in front of her, and there's like a chain of kindness that happens. Somebody does something who then turns around and does something else for someone else. And it's not always a straight connection. It's not always a direct transaction. Because one of the things that came to me while I was pulling this together this week is, how do you offer kindness to a hater? To someone in your face? To someone who is so different in what they think is important right now? How am I supposed to be kind to them? Don't fight. You see, one of the things that those ripples of kindness do is it disrupts the pattern that's out there now. And that one of the ways they teach you, those of you that have done therapy, one of the things that happens is you break the pattern. You don't have to respond the same way the way you used to. Anybody ever go home for the holidays and all of a sudden you're like 12 years old again? Instantly? Yeah. Yeah, because those patterns are ingrained, and the minute you show up with those same people who set those patterns, our default defense really is to fall back in, right? But the truth is we can disrupt the patterns that are toxic to us. We can disrupt the patterns that are not good for the planet. We can disrupt the patterns that say, if I yell at you, you should yell back at me louder, because the loudest person wins. Sometimes being kind doesn't mean taking it. It means taking care of yourself. It means understanding that those ripples we send out have indirect effects on the world. And so our general demeanor, our willingness to be a place of peace and sanctuary and love in the world, that overarching energy that we show up with is going to impact the people who may want to attack us, who are spreading hate or anger or fear. We don't have to react directly to someone in order to have an impact on the world. But what I do know is that if I feed the vitriol, if I argue back, if I come in for a fight, all I'm doing is magnifying, spreading that energy, and that is never, ever my goal. Now, that's not to say we don't take a stand. We do. But we have to know what we stand for. You know, am I against war? Really, I'm for peace. I'd rather put my energy into building peaceful enterprises than going against something. The against part tells me what my why is. It tells me why something is important to me. Why am I against war? Why am I against bullying? Why am I against name calling? Because it doesn't serve the human spirit. It doesn't allow for life to expand and grow. It doesn't allow people to be their authentic selves. That's what I'm for. So I'm going to do things that help people know that they are powerful enough to be and live their authentic self. Does that make me against bullying? Yeah. But where do I put my attention and where do I put my action? Into what I'm for. Because those are the ripples I want going out into the world. That is what I want to feed. That is what I want to support. I have 4 steps for challenging times. Would you like to hear them? Okay. You'll notice they're somewhat similar to what we've been talking about. It's funny, but all these folks that write about how to survive right now are kind of all on the same page. Here we go. Number 1, take a breath. Ground yourself in the daily practices and community that sustains you for the long haul. That means if you love music, surround yourself with music. If dancing fills you up, then get on the dance floor or dance in your living room. Right? If there's a community of writers that support your poetry, you should probably meet twice a week instead of once a month. Put yourself in a place that sustains you. Take a breath. Breathe in for yourself so that you know that your own power is not damaged by whatever is coming at you in the world, because it's not. Number 2, take time to reflect on your life, your gifts, your resources. The closer we get to what we love and who we are most deeply and truly, the more potent our contributions become. So you see, offering a judgy song isn't really an issue because it's given as a gift. And there's something in us that knows that music touches hearts means that most of us, if not all of us in this room, will receive it as the gift that it is. We are here to share with each other who we are. Because when I know your heart, when I hear your story, when I see your pain or your joy, I can be present to that. I can be supportive. I can reflect back to you what I see in you. And that's how we sustain each other in community. So take the time to know yourself. Because then when you do offer something to the world, it is received with the intention you meant. This is for love. This is for growth. This is for giving. Number 3, choose a couple of issues to which you feel particularly called. There's simply too much happening for any one person to address it all. The Facebook meme that popped up last night was I was trying to deal with a 24/7 onslaught of negative energy with a brain that was meant to eat berries in a cave. We are not supercomputers. Our brain is amazing. We've barely tapped into it, but we are not socially, mentally, emotionally, physiologically equipped to live in the whole world all at the same time. And yet that's what we take in, the whole world all at the same time. So pick your avenues. What calls you? What moves you? What sparks an idea of how you might be a presence of good in that particular area? Choose those issues and remember there are others working on the things that you personally cannot dive into in the moment. We are many and we are great with love. Take comfort. Have faith. You don't have to do it all. It's okay to narrow your focus and not get overwhelmed. It's actually preferred that you pick one thing closest to your heart and pour your energy into that. And know that there are others who will pour their energy into all of these other things. Because the truth is, when you get down to the root level, people all want the same thing. We want to love. We want to be loved. We want to feel safe. We want to have enough to eat. We want to be physically taken care of. Everything else is opinion on how to do that and how much there is to go around and what I have to do to get mine or what I have to do to share or I don't like sharing. And those are all opinions and stories. And some of them are cultural, some of them are global, some of them are very personal. Our power is in the personal. My power is in knowing what I love and acting from that, because then I will choose things, I'll be guided to the things that I can make a difference at. You know, if it comes to marching in the street, yeah, I can do that. But you know what else I can do? I can do this every week. You know what else you can do? You can sing, you can play, you can teach, right? You can work at a job that builds houses for people, or writes books, or does a column, or does Reiki healing, right? We all have something. It's ours to do. That is ours to do. Those are the ripples we send out into the world. And the truth is, there are more of us believing and carrying out in love and compassion and kindness and doing the right thing and working to expand consciousness than there are those who would constrict it for their own gain. There are more of us who value human rights, who value treating each other well and offering a helping hand, and know that that's not a political statement, then there are those who would weaponize those very things. And so your practice this week is to find one thing, some small act that is doable and human-sized. In other words, it fits you. And if we all do that together from here, then we are rippling out into the world something that truly makes a difference. And we will see change. I will remind you that we have been here before, that different places all over the globe have been here before and come through it. We went from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance. That's kind of a leap. We went from the Depression to the greatest middle class the planet had ever seen. That's not an accident. So take comfort and have faith. Know yourself and move from your own heart, and you will begin to see the changes in the world. It's consciousness, people. It's what we talk about, right? It's how we think about who we are and where we are. And Mother Teresa reminds us, I can't change the world alone, but I can cast a stone across the waters and create many ripples. Dalai Lama, we need to take action to develop compassion. How many of you see the good in the world that you could be doing, but you don't feel like starting? How many of you have a garage that you know you need to clean out, but you don't feel like starting? It's the same thing. Okay? So why don't we feel like starting? Because the energy to do it comes from the action we take, not feeling like we're ready to do it and then taking action. Okay? If you wait until you feel like you're ready to do something, how long are you going to wait? A really long time for most of us. And those of you that just get right in and do it, that's fine. We need you too, but I don't understand you. But what I do know is that we take action to develop compassion. Peace and warm-heartedness that we develop can spread through the community, just like ripples radiate out across the water when you drop a pebble into a pond. Like I said, all of these had ripples in them. I didn't want to call my talk ripples, though. That sounds like 1970s bad afternoon after high school. Deepak, we are the ripples of consciousness in the vast ocean of consciousness. If we get agitated and become part of the reactionary and vitriolic behavior sometimes around us, we will only add to the disturbance. Tolle says thinking is the waves and ripples on the surface of that ocean. So it's important how we think. It's important that when we are disturbed, we allow ourselves to move through it, to find comfort with each other, to read that poem, to take that break in nature, to listen to good music. It's important that we question what we hear so that we can find out if it aligns with our values or not, so that we know where we want to move from. And this is my favorite quote that I will close with from Dorothy Day, an activist in the early 1900s. People say, what's the sense of our small effort? They cannot see that we must lay one brick at a time, take one step at a time. A pebble cast into a pond causes ripples that spread in all directions. Each one of our thoughts, words, and deeds is like that. No one has the right to sit down and feel hopeless. There's too much work to do. Namaste. So let's anchor that with prayer, shall we? There is only one life. That life is good. That life is God by any name. That life is the wisdom and the joy and the beauty and all that is beneficial to life itself. And that life is my life now, just as it is the life of everyone else. And as that life is one of power and clarity and joy, I too am that power, that clarity, that joy, that love, energizing myself and the life around me. And I speak my word for the expression of life in its true spiritual sense, that the energy that sustains and nourishes, that grows and expands, that transcends what is into what it can become, is the energy and the expression that my actions, my thoughts, my words support. I allow Spirit to flow through me in its highest form, that I might see my highest life expressed. And I know too, I trust and believe that those who love seek the same thing, an expression of life that sustains life, an expression of life that is peaceful and loving and wise. And those who do not know that peace, that love, that wisdom, I call forth from them what it is within them that does know. For there is no place where God is not. There is nothing away from Spirit. There are only the clouds of ignorance and trauma, of struggle, of misbelief that keep us from our good. And so I am giving thanks in advance for the clarity that reveals the wholeness, the interconnectedness, the tapestry that we are all part of. I am grateful now for the continued unfolding of a peaceful way forward in this life, even here, even now. I choose to remember the love that is the truth of all of us. I choose to remember that the peaceful heart creates the biggest waves. I choose to live my life from that place within me. And I release this word into law, for I know that in the consciousness of life, it is already done. It is already whole and complete. I simply allow it to unfold so that my five senses might perceive it in the way that it is already true in the invisible. For God is, I am, and we are all that is good, and so it is. All right, I would like to invite Jannel back up to sing and play for us again. Let's welcome her.
I only have 3 stories to tell. They're Anyway, so the law of attraction works for all of us, good, bad, doesn't matter. And so there are people in this world that use it for good. They may not know, for bad. They may not know that they're doing that. They just do it. I had a person in my life for a long time who just focused on one thing, covering himself. That's all he had to think about. He didn't have to think about anyone else. He didn't have to think about literally, his job, his children, because everything was about covering himself. And I think that sometimes that is how people become really good at something or get really far, is because they're so focused. And we need to be that focused about the good. This is our call. This is our moment to get that focused. Because if they can do it, we can do it. I have an would-be Olympic athlete that lives with me. He is so focused on swimming. He barely talks to anyone else. All he does, he swims about 4 to 6 hours a day. He does his homework. He sleeps. He eats. He just in and out. Doesn't talk to anyone. He's very nice when you do talk to him, but he is focused because he knows what he wants. So if we know what we want and we focus on that thing, and every year since COVID, I've been given a word. And this year, my word is value. Know your value. Focus on your value. It doesn't matter what your age. It doesn't matter your talent. It doesn't matter what you came here with. You're valuable. There's a reason you're breathing. There's a reason you're here. And this song, I think I've done here about 4 times, but I added this little section because of a conversation I had with Shelley, and I wasn't able to finish the whole song, but it was about that, just like really focusing on who you are and what you want to be, that one thing. And I've been trying to focus on the one thing for a long time, but I keep getting distracted by these shiny little sayings that, oh, maybe that one's better. I should use that one. I'm going to miss out if I use this old one, and I'm going to miss, Meanwhile, the person that just wants to cover themselves is just focused on that. And they're winning. And it's not a game of winning. It's a game of, we came here to evolve, to become more, to love more, to be more. And this is our chance. This is our calling. This is our moment to stand up straight and say, I'm going to cover mine with love. I'm going to cover mine with value. I'm valuable. I belong here. So I haven't even told my 3 stories yet. So I better hurry. So, all needs met, all needs met, all needs met no matter what you get. I say that all the time. I started saying it. I got some things happen because I said that all the time. So I'm taking care of my mom. I've learned how to move her on the chuck all by myself, right? I'm strong. I've always been strong. I was a gymnast, so no problem, right? Well, this one day, one night, it was like the 3rd time she was up, and she was really low on the bed, like really low. And I thought, okay, I wonder if my mom, when she had me, if she thought this baby's going to grow up and pull me up on a chuck. Anyway, so then I said, God help me. So I have this butterfly T-shirt on that my friend sent me, and I lean over the top of the bed, and I reach as far as I can, and I say, God help me, and I pulled her up so easily and quickly that I shocked myself. She was almost at the head, like I almost bumped her head on the wood. It was, and I had to pull her that far, but anyway, it was like this miracle happened, and she was like, whoa, and she laughed for like 20 minutes because there were just butterflies in her face. So I left the butterfly T-shirt there for her to let her know that when she needs help, it's there, and the butterflies will make her laugh. So anyway, that's one story of God will make a way, love will make a way, everything always works out. The second one is, I got back, the day I got back, I got pulled over by the police. I had an hour to get to work, get food for the kids, blah, 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 blah. And I had just been saying, because I was out of time, God will make a way, God will make a way, love will make a way. Everything will work out for me. I was saying it over and over, and I'm like, thanks, God, like you weren't paying attention this time. And then they let me go, and I was like, okay, slap me, for doubting. Then the next day, I get up to make kids breakfast, and I don't know if you guys have had trouble with your retina ever, like it lifts or a tear in your retina. Well, I had a lift in my retina, my right, a couple of years ago. I didn't have to have surgery or anything. It was just a lift. It healed on its own. But I saw this light flashing every once in a while. Well, I'm going downstairs to make breakfast for the kids, and I see this on left eye, this white flashing. It was worse than before, and I'm like, oh, great. I just get home from helping my mom for 3 weeks, and now this is, I'm thinking very humanly. And so I do the whole thing. I go up to my room. I decide to look at my eye, and there's a little teeny tiny piece of paper on my eyelash that was white. So, we question our covering that God is covering us. And yet, he does. And I really got a lesson. And so, I think I better sing before I get off to something else. But you guys are probably getting hungry, or you want some coffee or something. I don't know. But anyway, just like, we're not having her back. One, two, three, four. All needs met, all needs met, all needs met, no matter what you get. All needs met, all needs met, all needs met, no matter what you get. 'Cause everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Love will find a way where there is no way. All needs met, all needs met. All needs met, no matter what you get. All needs met, no matter, all needs met, no matter, all needs met, no matter what you get. Love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find a way. Love will find it. Well, love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. 'Cause everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. 'Cause love will find a way where there is no way. 'Cause I identify as strong. I identify as victor. I identify as health. I identify as well. I identify as life. I identify as a timeless, ageless miracle. I identify as holy, 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 unrepeatable, undefinable. I am a promise, one of a kind. I am light. No matter who, no matter what,
no matter where, love will find it. No matter when, no matter how, no matter why. That's my why. 'Cause love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find it. Love will find a way. Love will find a way where there is no way. How or when the way, who or what the way. 'Cause everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for you. Everything always works out for me. 'Cause love has found a way where there was no way. 'Cause I identify as strong. I identify as victor. I identify as health. I identify as well. I identify as life. I identify as a timeless, ageless miracle. I identify as holy, holy, holy. I identify as unrepeatable, undeniable amazingness. I am a promise, one of a kind. I am life. 'Cause love has found a way where there was no way. Love has found a way. Thank you.
Okay, so I vote for, hi, Monty. Monty too. I vote for your next concert with us to be some kind of bluesy, jazzy something, because your voice, when you went into that part of the song, like, did y'all feel it? The roof just lift up? Yeah, honey, you got something there, so thank you. Thank you, thank you. Whew, okay. Flowers are compliments of Jerry Thompson. So our friend Jerry, we saw her a couple weeks ago. She's moving around pretty well. She had a little dip in the force and is home again and provided us with flowers this week. So we're just going to know her continued health and recovery. And know too that we are here. We are here for you no matter where you are. Right? And so Jerry is still as much a part of this community. She's probably watching. Hi, Jerry. Whether you're physically in the chair or not, whether you're able to stand upright or you need somebody to bring you your lunch, it doesn't really matter. Because what we know is that life is life. We see it in each other. We love it in each other. And we are here for you in any way we can be. And I'm just grateful that even from your post-hospital visit, we have flowers from you. Because love gives, no matter what it looks like, and we are grateful, and aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they gorgeous? All right, so before we do the rest of our announcements, I apparently forgot to do the contribution time, so come on forward, ushers. I got the song this morning, right? I'm getting there. A couple more years of this ministry thing, and I'll have it down. What doesn't change is that our generous spirit not only serves our community, but it also lifts us all up together. So let's say our prosperity affirmation, shall we? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. All right. I'll let that go. That's okay, just throw it. Throw money. It's good. All right, we are grateful, so grateful. All right, so we have a class starting Tuesday the 18th. That's this week. Oh, and there's an affirmation. You know, between us all, we have an order of service. Let's do the affirmation, shall we? Please repeat after me. Loving kindness from within me, after me. Loving kindness from within me, your turn. Loving kindness from within me. Creates a powerful wave of peace in the world. And so it is. That's so our friends online can play with us. Okay. So we have a class that starts this week. Yes, Mary, this week, right? Tuesday night and online. Talk to Reverend Mary if you have questions. Class information and flyer is on the back table. It's called The Power of Your Word. And it is a way of tapping into knowing yourself and speaking your desire in a way that aligns you with its manifestation. Because that's how we create our lives. So, ways to create a better life, Tuesday nights starting this week. We have several people interested in taking a foundations level class. We're working out the days depending on who wants to take the class. So if you are interested, please put your name and email, or preferably email, on the list, and I will get in touch with you. Those of you that have gotten a note from me, make sure you get back to me so I know, and we'll set a start date sometime. Probably the middle of March is when we'll start whatever class we decide and whenever we decide, okay? Next week, next Sunday, the next time I see you here on a Sunday will be for our annual meeting right after service. So I invite you to come. I'm coming, I'm getting there. I invite you to come a little early is what I was gonna say, so you can drop your food off in the hall next door and then come to service at 10:30. We'll go from the service directly over, have some lunch, talk around about stuff, and I don't know, laugh or dance or whatever we decide to do, eat mostly, and then come back here for our meeting, which is an opportunity to hear from your board what we've been able to accomplish this last year, what we're looking forward to in the future, and to elect new board members. Everyone is welcome to attend. Only members can vote, but everyone is welcome to come to the meeting. And as always, we're looking for ideas and your inspiration on how we might continue to enjoy and build this community. So that's next Sunday. Tell your friends who sometimes come with you on Sundays that that would be a really good Sunday to come. The more the merrier, okay? The more the merrier. All right. Some of the rest of this I'm going to let go because we went a little long today because I don't know about you, but I'm kind of passionate about getting through hard times together. So that's what we're here for. All right, my friends, I'm going to invite you to stand up, move to the sides. We're going to sing to Eddie Watkins Jr. and then go have a cup of coffee.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. In honor of the God in each other, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and lose my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
I think I got ready for the next one. I'm sorry. I have trouble. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, go ahead and see what the sun is. Let's see if we're yeah, but like I said, when it comes to having the projector up there, and the computer back here, we have an HDMI. It's worked out really well when we have memorial services and my whole way back here. We used to have someone up there working on the computer and this really you want to do this on like some regular basis, like every Sunday maybe, or every other Sunday, or once or twice a month maybe? Yeah. Okay. Okay, because Holloway right there, the guy in the black jacket, yeah, he wants to do like once, maybe twice a month. Yeah, so once or twice, he does once or twice. Sit out there once in a while. Have you been Holloway? Oh, okay. He's a great guy. He would definitely have a different like all right, thanks, Dave. I'm gonna shut things down here. And let me know if there's anything that if I can help you figure stuff out as far as integrating your stuff in the computer. Okay? Yeah, you got my number, right?
At least so, yeah.
Oh yeah, we sent text messages. Okay.
What's your last name?
I'm sorry?
What's last name?
It's 909